Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing fantastic and that you're all having an absolutely wonderful day. And without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Ethereum's Layer 2 networks have gained significant traction in the past few years as developers seek a faster and cheaper solution to interact with the blockchain. It should be noted that this news was actually portrayed as something negative. I think we've once again rolled back around in the mud within the cryptocurrency space, where a lot of news, if something good is happening, a lot of people try to frame it as something negative, as in, why is this happening when that could be happening? Why is this coin doing this or have that partnership and not X, Y, and the other? According to a new report released by blockchain intelligence firm Masari, Layer 2 solutions recorded 61% of the entire Ethereum transactions in Q3 of this year. The State of Ethereum report explored how the blockchain and cryptocurrency fared within the last 3 months, notably around prices, adoption of Layer 2 networks, asset dominance, network upgrades, there we go, etc. I can't read. Layer 2 solutions are separate networks that help developers build on the Ethereum mainnet. The need for these solutions grew as a result of the congestion of Ethereum, resulting in the need to scale. Ethereum is the most used blockchain on the planet. It does the most, not transactions per second, but has the most network activity of any other coin or chain or anything else out there. The news is that the Layer 2 solutions are working. The Polygons, the etc., all the other ones that also exist out there. This was framed as something negative by many different news outlets because they were saying, well, why can't Ethereum do this on chain? Why can't Ethereum handle 38,000 transactions per second? Why isn't, you get the generalized idea? Ethereum is a very expensive chain as far as like monetary value, the same or similar to Bitcoin. As I think it currently stands right now, we know that Bitcoin on-chain will have updates and upgrades, but they will not be anything hyper significant. They will be mainly to keep the chain stronger and intact, what have you. You have the Layer 2 solutions and the side chains to make things a lot better, and the same exact thing is true for Ethereum. There are plans to upgrade Ethereum's main chain to have tens of thousands of millions of transactions. But you have to understand that if you break the chain with an upgrade, for those of you who were not here many moons ago within the cryptocurrency space, there were many other projects who said that they had upgrades and updates that were coming. And when they rolled these things out, the network froze, the network broke, then something was wrong, they didn't know what was happening. And if you lose faith in a project for 14 hours, can't get your money out, can't move your coins, people tend to abandon the project. So whatever upgrades Ethereum will have on chain will be slow and steady to make sure that they don't break this multi-billion-dollar chain. However, the Layer 2 solutions are working just fine and accounted for 61% of the entire transactions on Ethereum, at least within the last couple of months. It was all over the place. Everyone was talking about this new report. And a lot of people, I think, are simply just miserable in their own lives or realize that many years ago that they bought coins that have no actual value. So they make sure to write very negative articles about a coin that they do not have. Ethereum's fine. The Layer 2 solutions are working just fine. There was also news, I don't have it here. I think Ethereum and Bitcoin, you might remember at the end of the other videos, I used to show you like all the transactions that were happening. If you wanted back, tell me. It always looked a bit bloated to me. I think they're almost done actually going through their queue of unverified transactions on both networks. So that's also a very positive thing. The layer 2 solutions are working. They're, getting rid of all the unverified transactions so that we can have a cleaner chain for when things really get crazy. That's the Ethereum layer 2 solutions are working, and some people are trying to make it seem like something's wrong with them news. And yeah, let's move on. Also, this news was not popular. I think it should have been popular. And also, this is actually quite interesting because it shows where the future is going. Data compiled by River, it's a company literally called River, a Bitcoin exchange, shows that Bitcoin's layer 2 solution, known as the Lightning Network, has experienced a growth of 1,212% over the course of 24 months, with approximately 6.6 million transactions just happening in August. You should all know what the Lightning Network is. It is basically the Polygon of Bitcoin, but the Lightning Network is meant to kind of be like the end all for, like, not sure if you hear my neighbor knocking on the, what is that? Okay, it's weird. Okay, sure, why not? So like my neighbor was knocking on the wall. Anyway, the point is the Lightning Network is meant to be, or at least has proposed to be, the kind of thing that gets Bitcoin essentially to 1 million transactions per second. So while many other coins and chains now do these like binding of transactions, so within one transaction that's recorded on the chain, you may have 300 transactions bundled into one. It resolves as one transaction on the actual finality of the chain. The Lightning Network was the first proposal to actually do this, where you could have tens of thousands of transactions finalizing on the Bitcoin network as one simple transaction, allowing more growth. I expected years ago, by 2019 and 2020, that the Lightning Network would have been basically what we use to transact now. We had news over the last 2 years. I want to say 2 years. I think it's Coinbase and Binance who announced like mega support for the Lightning Network, and that they're going to try and like basically have all transactions run through Lightning, which is kind of, once again, where the world is going to go. If you talk about Bitcoin being a world currency and or being used, it will be because of the Lightning Network. The transaction fees are like 1/30th of 1 cent or something like that, and it's instantaneous and all that other stuff, but we haven't heard about Lightning in a while. So to hear that over the last 2 years, it has grown by 1,200% with no news is like, okay. The figure indicates a significant jump compared to the 500,000 transactions in August 2 years ago. So we went from 500,000 transactions to 6.6 million. Sam Wouters, that is Wouters, a research analyst at River, highlighted in a report published that the surge in routed transactions involving more than 2 nodes to facilitate transfers occurred despite a 44% decrease in Bitcoin's price and less internet searches for Bitcoin. I'm not sure how we continuously get to this really weird conversation that building happens when prices are down. This has been happening for a very long time. Developers have realized the best time to build is when people aren't paying as much attention to the actual chains and to what's going on. Bitcoin's price going down is not a catalyst for people to leave the market, to abandon the project, to no longer build on it. They wait for these moments because everything is constantly cyclical in this market. They wait for prices to go down, for interest to drop, because if they're trying to do all these things, as we have 900 million transactions trying to get through the chain at the exact same time, something might break. So you wait for interest to completely fall, and then you begin to build. Same exact thing with internet searches. It's a constant thing. We've had news for months now. Despite XRP falling in price, banks are buying, and it's like, yes, you buy when the price is low. You don't buy the home when it's at $1 million. You buy it when it's on discount for $350,000. That's how making money works. Here's the actual tweet from Sam Wouters. He said, "Nobody is using Lightning, huh? Should be a dead meme. Launching a new Bitcoin report from River, how the Lightning Network grew by 1,212% in 2 years. I would assume this has to do with activity from Coinbase and or Binance and or other institutions who are looking to use Bitcoin. I assumed by 2019, 2020, we would have seen a massive amount of Lightning Network usage because that was the time when we heard from the New York Stock Exchange, who created Bakkt, BAKKT, that they were going to launch an app. You must remember that you can even Google it. They were going to release an app that would allow them to partner with Starbucks, with Nordstrom. I think Uber was one of them, and you'd be able to pay in Bitcoin. So I'm like, cool. The only way that people are going to want to pay in Bitcoin is if they don't have a $28 transaction fee. The answer simply has to be Lightning. So it's nice to see that Lightning is still growing, despite not actively being in the news. We'll see exactly what ends up happening with this over the course of the next couple of years. Don't forget all those heavy predictions we've been receiving over the course of the last few years, as far as how high Bitcoin's going to go, what price Bitcoin's going to be, the amount of adoption. It's roughly around this time frame. It's 2024, 2028, and 2032 are the time frames for a $500,000 Bitcoin up to a $10 million Bitcoin. So, yeah, that's the Bitcoin continues to grow news. And yeah, let's move on. Also in news, the crypto exchange Bitstamp is apparently going to be leaving the Canadian market, saying that they will be discontinuing their services in Canada starting January of next year. Cryptocurrency exchange Bitstamp is withdrawing from Canada starting in January 2024, as the country has imposed stricter rules on crypto companies. I myself have not looked into exactly what Canada has done, but I think Binance is leaving Canada. I think BitMEX also left. Kraken has also left Canada and like 2 other places. I can't begin to imagine what the laws were. And I'll be honest with you, I don't actually care because I don't run a cryptocurrency exchange. And I think it's a little weird always that there's just a handful of countries who are like nearly adamant in making sure that like progress and growth doesn't happen. I don't mean that in like a weird, sly way. I mean more of the pattern of the US, Canada, and it's not all of the UK, it's mainly England, giving really weird, also Australia, these English-speaking countries giving really weird rules and regulations for the cryptocurrency space. And then we continue seeing these companies grow as they move out of these countries. Why not make sure that you as Canada, you as the US, you as England, and you as Australia kind of, grab the market by its legs, its arms, but by something to make sure that you basically control this market. If this is going to be, the next gold, the next real estate, and Bitcoin goes to $10 million, wouldn't you as a country benefit from giving proper crypto regulation to make sure that the exchanges want to go to you, that the people in the country know how to pay taxes, favorable taxes as well? It just doesn't, it's just, why make sure that you lose business as a country? Doesn't make a lot of sense. In a comment made on social media, Bitstamp's US CEO Bobby Zagoda said the exchange will be discontinuing services in Canada starting on the 8th of January 2024. While the exact reason for the exit is unknown, Zagoda noted it was not a decision we took lightly. I think it was also never announced why Kraken and all the other ones left as well. I think it was never announced. We all got the same kind of very nice sentence like, oh, we are leaving because of regulations. We wish that we didn't have to, which lets me know that behind the scenes, something really weird is actually taking place. He said, we hope to be able to serve Canada again at some point in the future. Bitstamp has become the latest crypto trading platform to leave Canada, following Binance, Paxos, I'm not saying that name out loud, DYDX, that I can only pronounce that in one way, Bybit, and OKX. The exodus came after the Securities Administrator, or the SEC of Canada, set a deadline for crypto businesses to register with local regulators. Once again, that's also a little weird because, as I said before with the US SEC situation, the US SEC has claimed that every crypto exchange within the United States has simply not registered with them. I would find it really weird if $12 billion companies, $12 billion companies all made sure in a coordinated manner that they all didn't follow the rules. I'm sure they were trying to contact the SEC for years, and this is why they were all shocked that they all got lawsuits against them. So I also find it very difficult to believe that every single crypto exchange within Canada would have failed to register with local regulators. Doesn't that seem a little bit weird, or is someone lying here? Anyway, relatively is not popular news, but it was well spoken about news as it has to do with another crypto exchange leaving the Canadian market. Something is amiss, something is afoot, something smells gross because, one crypto exchange is something. 3 maybe is like, well, you guys need to get it together. But when you hear that major crypto exchanges are leaving a particular market, I find it hard to believe that all of these exchanges never picked up a phone, never wrote a letter, never got an owl and attached the note to its leg and tried to get it to the regulators. Very, very odd indeed. That's the Bitstamp news. Moving along. Also, this was actually popular, and sure, why not? Russia's second largest exchange is apparently ready to be the first in the country to add support for cryptocurrencies. The St. Petersburg Stock Exchange, or the SPB Exchange, will list a whole new set of cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, once the government legalizes the industry within the country. This was said by local news agency TASS, citing the exchange's head Roman Goryunov. The entire Russian cryptocurrency news has been around for a while. Back in 2017, we got news that they were going to legalize it, and a lot of people believed back then that Russia could have been one of the largest markets for the cryptocurrency space. A lot of the news that came out around that time was very where we got news and indications that apparently one of the only ways to own crypto within the country was by already being rich. A lot of you might remember that news, where basically the only way to legally own crypto was by being an institution and having a certain amount of money. And I think even part of the law that was proposed was that if you did not make a lot of money, if you weren't as rich as they wanted you to be, I think your maximum that you could get of crypto per year was $3,000 equivalent. And if you owned any more, you literally got in trouble. That, like, you can find the news. It was definitely out. I want to say 2017, 2018, you can find the news. So this rumor of there being some kind of, advent of cryptocurrencies within Russia kind of took hold. Since then, we've only heard that there's been some kind of maybe an internal struggle as to who can and who cannot own cryptocurrencies if they are or are not legal. Russia creating their own central bank digital currency. And it's kind of become like an India kind of situation where if you're going to do it, just do it. India has also been talking since 2017 about the legalization and like laws for cryptocurrencies. And I think at this point, people just really don't care anymore, because if you were going to do it, you would simply do it. You wouldn't like, oh, maybe tomorrow we're going to do it. And it's like, sure, if you just kind of release the news when it happens and not, continuously stringing everyone along. Although the time frame was not specified, I wonder why. Goryunov said one day the world of crypto will merge with the world of traditional financial instruments. I'm all but certain. He also emphasized the exchange will be the first trading platform to trade crypto in Russia once there's a clear regulatory framework to work with digital currencies. As he pointed out, the platform has been mulling crypto-related plans for a while. He said, "We almost launched a crypto exchange in 2017 and have not changed our mind since then." 2017 is a long time. 2017 is literally 6 years ago. I shudder to think what could possibly take so long that so many countries they take forever to do something. Think of what's happened to you in the last 6 years, how long that's been. And no one at any point made framework, made something that anyway, cool, wonderful. So Russia is not known for their economic strength in the same way that a number of other countries are. So I think this news is significant in that it appears that there will not potentially be a banning of cryptocurrencies within Russia, but more of an acceptance that they're here, let's trade them, they're regulated. But their stock exchange probably will not be at the forefront of volume when it comes to trading cryptocurrencies comparative to the New York Stock Exchange and or Coinbase and or Binance and or Kraken. But, it's interesting to see this merging of worlds kind of coming together. And there's still billions of people who are not paying attention to the cryptocurrency market. So, it literally pays to be early. That's the St. Petersburg Stock Exchange will at some point be listing cryptocurrencies. It says including Bitcoin. I would assume Bitcoin would be the first, that's just logic to me. And yeah, let's move on. Also, I think people wanted this to be big. I really think that they wanted this to be fantastically huge news. What the article says is a surprising turn of events. Christina Campbell, the chief financial officer of Ripple, has stepped down from her role and has transitioned to the CFO at Maven Clinic, a virtual healthcare provider. The article says, the move has raised questions and speculations within the cryptocurrency community, especially as it coincides with Ripple's ongoing legal battle with the US SEC. I need you to understand something this is going to blow your mind. Not everything has to do with the US SEC. Whoa, Mike, what? That's crazy, right? Two, people leave companies all the time. There was something about 4 weeks ago that I think 2 people left Binance. And what usually ends up happening is, so one, let me clarify. There could have been a potential reason to leave Ripple because of the US SEC by Christina Campbell. However, let's throw some logic in here. She probably would have left in December 2020 when the lawsuit began. However, assuming that she's been at the office for a couple of years, I'm sure she knew about the lawsuit. Usually, people tend to leave mega companies, not because they go, "Ugh, you guys are being sued, I can't be here anymore." Another company usually contacts you behind the scenes. This is quite normal. We've heard this before thousands of times from people who worked with Yahoo and Google and Apple, etc. over the decades. One company says, "Hey, we'll pay you $1.3 million per year for your job. Come work for us." And you go, "Cool." Another company sees how well you've done in your position as CFO, and they go, "Hey, we are willing to offer you $2.3 million per year." And then at that point, you look at the bag that's sitting next to you and you begin to pack your stuff. You stand up and go, "I have a new job. This was wonderful working here." And you bow gracefully. And then you walk out. A lot of the articles, one, this was very popular news because the word Ripple's in there, and also because a person has left their company. The leaving of a company is usually not something that is very sudden. A lot of people within the cryptocurrency space receive news, however they absorb news, and they go, "I just heard about this on Tuesday. that means it must have happened on Monday. That's not how business works. People are usually aware if you have a higher up position, especially as the CFO of a company, you cannot leave the next day. You have a discussion with the shareholders and other people working at the company. I have received an offer. I believe I am going to take it. You need to look for someone to fill my position over the course of the next 6 to 8 weeks. However, within the cryptocurrency space, because the news pops up on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, everyone assumes, well, this woman must be leaving because of the lawsuit. No, once again, that's not how any of this actually works. Campbell's tenure at Ripple lasted for more than 2 years, beginning in April of 2021. I do not assume this woman would have joined Ripple 4 months after the lawsuit started without knowing that there was a lawsuit against them. Prior to joining Ripple, she held the position of CFO at the payments platform, something called Pay Near Me. Never heard of it. For over 4 years, and then it talks about her move into the other sectors. It calls it her sudden move. Just because you are learning about this does not mean that it's sudden. Very, 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 very popular news. It says Ripple loses CFO Campbell amid ditched acquisitions of Fortress Trust. And this one says Ripple CEO throws in the towel, abruptly resigns from the company. I always wish and hope, always. I mean, this is a constant in my life, that the people who write these articles just had a little bit more brain power when it comes to these things. Everything doesn't have to be like hyper sensationalized. Everything doesn't have to be that someone is abruptly resigning. When people leave Binance, they're not leaving because they're dissatisfied with what Changpeng Zhao has been doing, which is a really common thing that people keep writing about. Remember before we had people who were leaving, I think they left Coinbase in 2020 or 2021, and they were like, they must have been dissatisfied working there. No, things were terrible for the economy. So I think the news was that multiple people across multiple different companies were being let go, and some of these people decided to leave beforehand. There's some type of economic, I don't know what you get from doing that in a certain line of work, but not everything is terrible. Not everything is sad. Not everything is scary. Not everything is like, why is this woman leaving? She must know something we don't. No, that's not how any of this. That's not how any of this actually ends up working. So the news is Ripple's CFO has left the company. They will find another one because they're Ripple, and I'm sure they have many people trying to work for them. People leave companies all the time, whether they be small or large companies. I'm sure some of you and or people you know have worked at a company for 2 years and decided to leave. That's just how it usually goes. You find better pay somewhere else, or something that's better for you or closer to you, or is more in an industry that you like. So yeah, wonderful. Wish them the best of luck. I can't wait for the weird, surprising news in 2 weeks that Ripple has a new CFO, and will this person leave? And it's like, okay, sure, why not? I do sincerely hope that you have all enjoyed this very weird news day. I do hope that you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever the heck you might be. I do hope it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, leaving a like, leaving a comment or comments, and supporting in your own way. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See